Have a seat because they need to put you in because you're so tall. Thank you, Matt. Okay, good. And then P. R. Go ahead. My goal in life has always been to serve others.
Our goal that we all kind of share is to support well-being with autistic individuals, folks on the spectrum who often have trouble accessing spaces like yoga studios or mindfulness classes. I grew up in an inclusive school and there were lots of kids on the spectrum in my classes, and that sort of led me on this path where I became a professor of special education. Helping people with autism live their best lives has been a long-time interest of mine. Yoga is something that I've been doing just for myself for about 20 years. And I met Marissa through the University of Pittsburgh and found out that she had co-founded this mindfulness organization specifically centering people with disabilities. And I was just thinking, like, that sounds like two of my most favorite things joined together in one. Just sort of had this thought of taking my research in a direction where I really focused on community-based participatory research, really partnering as a researcher with people out in the community who are doing the kind of work that I really admire.
So my role in SWAY is that I'm a co-principal investigator and I am on the community side of things. So as a director here at Open Up, we are going to be hosting the SWAY classes in Open Up Studio. I think it's so special to not only be a graduate, but also be a stakeholder in the community, in the Pittsburgh community, and to see that the university is really excited to launch into some projects that collaborate with the community and within different departments in the school and bring everything together. My personal experience with getting into yoga and into this special education and community well-being space just kind of happened through my own practice. So I actually, when I was at the University of Pittsburgh getting my master's degree in special education, I started to recognize a need to kind of move my body through some of the changes that were happening in my life. When I started to understand more about what yoga was, I understood that it's really a personal practice that you can take with you everywhere. It's just breathing. It's recognizing your breath. It's being able to be aware of your movement. And I think that's really helpful when thinking about special education or just community well-being in general. But we really hope that we can provide tools in terms of communication, in terms of different practices that people can really personalize and internalize.
My role in SWAY is to bring the expertise of yoga and sort of bridge the gap between the science and the yoga, since I am a researcher of yoga, but also a practitioner and a teacher of yoga. I've trained heavily in the vinyasa style of yoga, which is a style of yoga that has a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement between the poses. Different styles of yoga are different intensities of physical activity, and different intensities of physical activity have different health benefits. So by looking at what style we do in research, we can also look at the benefits that someone is receiving that are related to the physical activity that they're getting.
The kind of project that we're doing involves, physical movement, physical exercise, and that's where Sally Sherman and her yoga expertise is really coming in. But it also involves mindfulness and emotional and mental well-being as well as physical well-being. And that's really where Caitlin Connor and Carla Mazefsky from the School of Medicine and Psychiatry are really helping us.
I'm a clinical psychologist by training, and I'm going to help think about the ways that we're going to assess and measure for mental health and well-being outcomes. We already know that yoga and mindfulness have well-known effects on mental and emotional well-being, any decrease in other mental health symptoms or difficulties that they could have been having. Social connections are being built by attending group classes and kind of building relationships with those people that they attend class with. All of those things are important, and so we want to be able to measure those things, as well as, what are the overall physical benefits to doing something like yoga.
My role in the SWAY project surrounds gathering some preliminary data and observing how folks who are presently engaged with yoga, how they're experiencing it, as someone with a cognitive disorder myself, it's been a lifelong journey in terms of the work and the passion that I've developed for collaboration, not working with, but collaboration with folks with disabilities on their long-term goals.
Collaborating with the other schools at the University of Pittsburgh is really exciting and critical to developing this project because they bring different areas of expertise that I don't have. And this project wouldn't be possible without that. And really the adults on the spectrum like Matt are also partnering with us to help us understand what do they want to see in a program that's really tailored for supporting their well-being.